Thank you so much. I really am grateful to be able to just stand here um, before God's people. I don't take it lightly. I think preachers and teachers have such an awesome responsibility. It's a great responsibility to actually serve food, good food for the people of God to eat, so that we can grow. We can grow by. So let me do a little housework real quick. This house cleaning. My dad has been in the hospital 2 weeks. This makes the second week. And he was in ICU. He came out of ICU. He had a humongous surgery. He had what they call a Whipple. And if you know anything about the Whipple, it's intended to reroute. They cut half of his stomach, some of his pancreas, all of his gallbladder, and what the doctor had to do was reroute him. They found a mass and discovered that it was cancerous, and pancreatic cancer is one of the fastest growing cancers that there is, and so catching it at such an early stage actually saved his life. So he's recovering, and this is probably about day 3, and I'm just sitting at his bedside trying to give Mama a break, and I said, Daddy, I'm sitting here thinking about the sermon, and normally I would have already prepared something, but I hadn't prepared anything, and I said, I called him when he was woke, and I said, Daddy, I have to preach Sunday, and I really don't know what to tell the people. What should I tell them? And he said, well, if anybody know Daddy, he gonna take his time. Well, you tell them with that long finger, that pointed was real long, about like that. You tell them that God is rebuilding his family.
Come on now.
I said, huh? He said, I said, like, if you didn't hear me, girl, the first time, God is rebuilding his family. And I said, well, I like that, Daddy, but I don't really know where to go with that. He said, don't worry about it. The Lord gonna give you the scriptures, and you gonna be ready to do it. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna roll with that. I'm gonna roll with it. Friday came, and I leaned over. They had took him out of ICU and put him into a regular room. I leaned over, and once they got him situated, I leaned over to his bed. I said, Daddy, I don't normally be this nervous when I preach. I said, why am I scared? He said, God ain't gave you no fear. So I said, right, God is not giving, that's one of Izzy's favorite scriptures. God is not giving me the spirit of fear. I'm just going to talk to you about my family. I'm just going to talk to y'all today about my family. And I'm so fortunate to have y'all as a part of my family. So, that's my disclaimer. I'm telling y'all now, don't get mad if I start talking about you. Don't get mad, because we family. I love y'all. Y'all love me. We just family sitting around the table talking, right? Except for y'all told me to stand up today. Okay? I want to talk about the family because I'm looking at how the enemy has really came in and like wreaked havoc on our family. Have y'all noticed that? I want y'all to just think for a minute with me. Just think about family. Just think about family and what it is. And those that are in the house that can talk, and those that are in the chat, hi mama, mama's online watching. And that means daddy's watching too. I'm gonna do it, Daddy. He said, you're gonna do it. I want us to think about family. When you hear the word family, the talkers and the people on the chat, y'all just tell me, what is family to you? And this is the time when you can participate and just talk back to me. What is family? What is family? Jason?
I think family somebody that's not related to you as part of family. So I think it's more of a relationship with other people and how close you keep in proximity to who you are.
So my son said that family is more than just blood, right? Right? Is that what I hear you saying? And that it's more connected to relationships that you develop with these people that you call family. Do everybody in the house agree with him? And y'all ain't got to nod real hard if you don't. If you don't, I mean, you ain't got to nod real hard or shake real hard. If you agree with him, just let me know. You agree with him on that? Love and connection. Love and connection. I like that because. But when we get disconnected, does that mean we're not family? Because we get disconnected by locale. You know, like you might move. What you did, Pamela, you moved, and because you moved, does that change our relationship? That's where the love kick in because you're not in the same spot with me, but my heart is still in the same place with you. Okay, okay. I'm glad you said that. Quinny said. Family is love.
Conditional or unconditional. That's what I want to say. Regardless.
Family is love unconditionally, regardless. Regardless to what? But I mean, tell me what you.
Disagreements, trauma, whatever we're faced with. A family binds together.
A family, and y'all can't see her out there, but she got her hand like this. She said, a family bonds together, and we are together unconditionally. That means that no matter what, if I do something that get on your nerves, or you do something, Press, that get on my nerves, it still means we're still bonded. And it's okay. I don't love you unconditionally. It's just saying I don't love you based on the conditions. If you treat me right, then I'm gonna love you. That ain't what this is. That ain't what this is. I appreciate how Jesus calls us family, and even the Trinity it can somewhat show us what family is like, the dynamics of the Trinity, because God the Father he sacrificed his only begotten Son, so that therefore telling us that, okay, that Father and Son, that sounds like some family stuff to me. That sounds like some family talk to me. Now, that's the perfect union of family. But ours is not so perfect. And so when we have these issues that we come up with, I'm gonna give you some scripture in a minute. But what I want to do is just lay a little foundation so that we'll know what we're talking about here. Then I want us to take some time. I'm not gonna go and read all those scriptures about different families in the Bible, but I want us to kind of just talk about them a little bit so that we can understand and we don't feel by ourselves because our family is kind of crazy. I said it. Our family is a little crazy. Mine only have about a teaspoon, but I know some in the house got about a tablespoon of crazy, and then others I know in the house got a little cup full of crazy. Okay, and y'all caught that man on the lower end of the spectrum. When we think about Abraham, no, let's go back farther than Abraham. When we think about Adam in the Bible and family, what do you think about? When you think about Adam as family, the first family ever, what do you think, outside of God in the Trinity, what do you think about Adam? What do y'all think about Adam? Him and Eve? What do y'all think? Talk to me.
I think that when they ate of the forbidden fruit, they opened up the door for their son to kill their other son.
Elder Deborah, it's not even her Sunday to preach, but she said when they ate of the forbidden fruit, they opened up this door, this passageway. They opened up a gate and let the devil come in and be able to rob them of the joy that the Lord had set for them. Because they opened the door. And a lot of times, and this happens in family, y'all know it. Eve was presented with the issue. Eve looked at it, saw that it was good for food. She listened to what the devil said. She ate and gave something to her husband, and he what? And he ate. But he ate and blamed it on her. Okay? Both of y'all responsible for that. But he told God, it's this, don't look at me like that, Lord. It's this woman you gave me. It ain't my fault. It's her. It's this woman that you gave me. And what he did, being the authoritative voice in the family, we kind of hit on that this morning a little bit in Sunday school. Him being in charge, so to speak, he let his guard down to appease her. It even probably looked good to him too. So he ate. And they opened up that door. And they had 2 sons. One son got, see how this scene do? One son got jealous of another son's sacrifice to God and killed his brother. This is the first family. What do y'all think about Abraham? When y'all think about family, what do y'all think about Abraham? Y'all like our cousin Abraham? That's our cousin. Yeah, he is. Abraham and let's call them who they was before. They were Abram and Sarai. They was supposed to be waiting on God, and Queen back there said that they had no patience. And I just want you to find yourself in these stories, because we dealing with folks in our family, and we might be the one that don't have the patience. But they didn't have patience. Sarah took it up on her own self to tell her handmaiden, go on in there and sleep with him so that I can have a baby that I've always wanted. But God had already promised her that she would have her own baby. Y'all don't see sin coming up in both of these families? Y'all see that? And it almost sounds like I'm saying that impatience is a sin. I'm thinking that I read that those that wait up on the Lord, those that wait up on the Lord shall renew their strength. So it's a blessing when you're able to wait on him and walk in the patience that he's given you. He gives you the patience to wait. But sometimes we don't want to wait. And we do stupid stuff like Sarah did and knew that her husband was doing something that no woman will ever think about to get this baby. They get this baby. Come on, what you got? You got something?
I want to say, just because everybody else is doing it and that was their tradition, but God had gave her a promise.
He gave her a promise.
And so she didn't have to do that. She could have waited.
But and that's the thing. A lot of the traditions that we have, that they had, when we have, don't mean it's right. You know, it was allowed. It was allowed. But if God tells you something,
Come on.
if he specifically tells you,
Yes, I'm listening, Lord. Yes.
then you need to wait.
Yes.
Then you need to wait.
Yes.
Yeah. Our other cousin, Moses, Moses came up in a family where he was like he's a promised kid too, but he came up in this family where at the time of his birth, was it Herod? Somebody had called for the boys to be killed. Y'all remember that? Yes. He had to be his mama put him in this basket, pushed him out on the Nile so that he could be rescued somehow. And he rescued into the hands of the enemy, but the enemy took care of him. Now that seems pretty good, but I just want you to think about this mama who had to take her son, wrap him up, and put him in a basket. We don't, look, I'm just going to be real with y'all. I don't see that from I couldn't have saw that from my life. my baby boy, the Lord telling me to put him, that could require a lot of trust. Put him in a basket in water. That right there blows my mind. A basket in water. Trust God, push him out to the Nile. And Pharaoh's daughter, was it, found Moses, took care of Moses, knew that the decree had went out that those babies needed to be killed, but they kept that baby Moses. Moses' family, he grew up in a family that wasn't really his. It was a blended family. They accepted Moses. They knew Moses, because y'all know Moses wasn't looking like them, right?
Right.
I'm just saying. We be like, yeah, that ain't ours. That ain't looking like. Yeah, that one ain't ours. Skin a little too bright. Fingers a little too long. I don't know what it is with the old folk. I can say old because I'm not that old. They will take your baby's socks off their feet and say, yeah, that's ours. Look at that flat big toe. Look at that big old toe. That's ours. Look at that flat big toe. That one worked for the Carols back there because somebody in their family got a big old flat big toe. Jason looked at me like, no, you didn't. Yeah, he got a big flat big toe. I don't know what that is. But them his kids. Okay? Them his kids. Those are his. Think about Noah and his family. Noah had a little issue, didn't he? That we know of. Noah accidentally had too much wine. It was an accident. I don't know how those accidents happen because the Bible didn't tell us that. But that particular day, Noah had too much wine. Right? And what did his kids do? The first child went in and told everybody. Looking at him, laughing at him, went and told other ones. The other son came in and they walked in backwards and covered the daddy up. But Noah and his family were the picture of what salvation is for us. Y'all with me?
Yes.
Why? Why is that? Why is that? Why is Noah and his family the picture of salvation for us?
Because he worked so hard and kept the promises of God in his heart that he was going to make it rain. And they believed it without a shadow of a doubt, no matter what the world around him was doing. And he built that ark and they gathered.
Yeah, him and who got on the boat?
His family.
Noah and his family were the only ones to be saved during that flood. The Lord said that he was going to flood the earth. Noah believed God and started building on this boat. Rain had never fell from the sky. Rain always came up from the ground. And he sounded like a crazy man talking about the Lord is going to make the rain fall. The water going to fall from the sky, y'all. Can y'all feel that? How does Noah explain this? And he getting gopher wood and nails and, putting this boat together to save his family. I want to know how many fathers in the house has that Noah spirit that no matter what, everybody in my family gonna be saved. I just want to know. Do we have any? Yeah. This is important because, and I think this is why Daddy wanted me to talk about God is rebuilding the family, because right now we need a shift. Because listen, what the world is doing with families, what the world is telling us and how they are trying to redefine what God said the family is, we got a problem. We have a problem. The marriage is between one man and one woman. I don't care what the world is doing. I don't care what the world is saying. You have to know that marriage is between one man and one woman. And he told them this command to fill the earth with kids, procreate. He wanted them to do this, to fill the earth. 2 men can't do that. 2 women can't do that. Y'all hear me? I want us to stay here just for a minute. Because our kids are going to school and they are literally telling our children that they can select what gender they want to be. They can choose. Okay, you don't feel like Sally? You don't like Sally. You don't like being Sally. Well, you can be Sam. Y'all, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. They said in legislation, it is set in place for these kids to be able to do this stuff. And we sit back like it ain't even happening. God is rebuilding the family. God is taking this back. And I really believe he is. I don't care what it look like. I don't care what it sound like. He is rebuilding his family. He's restoring us, y'all. But we need to do our part as far as speaking out on it. When you see it, say something. On my job, they call it see something, say something. But look, we don't like that, so we call them snitches. And got the audacity to say snitches get stitches. We need to speak up on that, okay? We really, really do. Do y'all remember Joshua? Y'all remember Joshua? Somebody tell me a little bit about Joshua that know about him. What do y'all know about Joshua?
Well, he was under Moses.
Yeah?
And then when Moses died, he became the leader.
After Moses died,
And Joshua had a different spirit than the other people. He could see what God could see.
was Joshua, wasn't he one of them spies, one of the 2 spies? They sent all of them, they sent 12 of them over there? And 10 came back with a bad report, and Joshua and Caleb came back with good reports? Okay, Joshua is him. I want somebody to go to Joshua 24. Go to the book of Joshua and go to chapter 24. I want us to look at this real quick, y'all, because this is going to help us. This is going to help us. I like what Joshua said. Joshua judges rule. That's how I have to. Okay. And I believe it's 24. God is rebuilding his family. Let me see. I think that's where I wanted to start. Let me see if I can pull it up right back up. Joshua 24:14 through 28. But listen to this before we do that. Somebody that's got a really loud, strong voice. Can you please read Psalms 127, all of it? And it's only 5 verses, y'all. So don't leave the room yet. Hold on. It's only 5 verses. Psalms 127. Psalms 127. Let me get there. Somebody to get it. Y'all don't wait on me. Y'all go. You got it. Go and read it. Okay. Thank you, Jason.
Unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. Unless the Lord watches over the city, the guards stand watching in vain. In vain you rise early and stay up late, toiling for food to eat.
Yeah.
For he grants sleep to those he loves.
Come on now.
Children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward from him. Like arrows in the hands of a warrior are children born in one's youth. Blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them.
Yes.
They will not be put to shame when they contend with their opponents in court.
Come on.
I love this one. I love this one. This one is by Solomon, y'all. It's a song. It's a song. Okay? And in my Bible it says a song. It's written by Solomon and it says it's a song of ascents. So and that's ASCENT, ascents. So the Jews would during the festival times, they would actually like literally walk up to the city of Jerusalem for the festivals, right? And so the ascent means they were walking uphill. They were walking uphill to the city of Jerusalem that sat high on the hill, right? Can you imagine them singing this song? And it's quite a few of them. It's quite a few of the songs of the ascent that they sung these songs to remind them of who their God was and what their God promised them. So this and when I read that, I was like, that works for me today, because a lot of the things that I deal with in my life feel like I'm going uphill. Y'all know when we walk in look, them little tracks that got the regular walk. You don't want that. You want that one that got a little incline and the one that got the decline, okay? Because that helps work every muscle, right? But when we walking, y'all, in life, it feels like sometimes, and some of the stuff that we've endured and encountered in our families, it feels like I'm always walking uphill. But if I take some time and study the Word of God and find out what the early believers did to make it through, that helps us. So they were climbing up, walking uphill, and they would remind themselves of who God is. So now read it with that in mind. Now read it one more time, Jason, and I might kind of stop you a little bit. Read it one more time.
Said, unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain.
Yeah.
Unless the Lord watches over the city,
yes,
the guards stand watching vain.
Listen to that. Unless the Lord builds the house. Now God ain't got the hammer and the nails. He don't have that in his hand. You do. But with the intention that God gives you, the ability that God gives you, you can build the house. But you building it according to what he says. Okay? It got to be built according to what he said, not you. Y'all understand? That go for the leaders, all the parents in the house. Unless the Lord builds the house, no matter how hard you try. And you can be so consistent with prayer and consistent with Bible study and still miss this mark. Because we are creatures of habit, and we'll do the same thing over because we know that's what we're supposed to do. But our heart left it. Our mind is still engaged, but our heart has left the place. So when you read that, when you read, unless the Lord builds the house, the builders are building it in vain. It counts for nothing. That's what he's saying. This counts for nothing. All the work you doing, it counts for nothing unless you let the Lord direct you on how to build that house. Number two, in vain they get up early. In vain they get up early and they stay up late. They reminding themselves it don't make sense for us to do that. Why would I stay up working all night long? I mean, can't even get a break just working. Working. And look, forgot that God is the provider. Forgot. Come on, Jason, pick me up. Two.
In vain you rise early and stay up late, toiling for food to eat, and he grants sleep to those who love.
Did y'all get that? These people are getting ready to go to Jerusalem, and they are singing this song of ascent, and they know that it is God who I don't have to stay up late. I don't have to stay up late. I know that God, I can rest my head. I can rest my mind because God loved me. Y'all got it? Y'all got that? 3, Jason.
Children are heritage from the Lord, offspring are reward from him. Like arrows in the hands of a warrior are children born in one's youth.
This is good because sometimes we know that the children are a blessing and we love our kids. And sometimes some of us, even us that only have 1 or 2, but the ones that got 8 need to be reminded that these are a heritage from the Lord. This is a reward to me. These children are getting on my nerves, but they are a reward for me. Okay, I'm just saying, I'm keeping it real. Y'all know how we do, right, Shay? These kids kind of get on our nerves sometimes. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. All the time. See what I'm saying? And when you got them stacked up like stairs, yeah. Oh yeah. But remember that God, if he since he blessed your womb to be able to have kids and deliver kids, and man, this right here to me is I can look back and I'm looking at my grandkids, and I can look back at me as a child, never thinking that I would be a grandparent, but just knowing that I'm a reward. My grandchildren, me looking at my grandchildren are a reward for my daughter and my son-in-law, but they even more than that. They are a heritage from God. We need to be reminded of that, especially when we're treasuring uphill. Like you just read 4, Jason?
Yeah.
All right, and the last one?
Blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them. They will not be put to shame when they contend with their opponents in court.
I love that. Such men will never be put to shame when they speak with their enemies in the city gate. Your kids ain't gonna, listen, no matter what they do, and I know a lot of times kids, especially our adult children, they do things that we be like, you know better, we don't even roll like that. Browns don't do that. Jacksons don't do that. The Kings sure don't do that. We say that. But knowing that, and see, this is what I love about that. We have done some things before God's eyes. But you know he ain't ashamed of you?
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord.
We all know that we have done some things before God's eyes, but he's not ashamed. Y'all know the feeling that comes with shame, right? He's not ashamed of you. Now it's a disappointment because he knows what he put in you.
Right.
He knows your capabilities. He knows what you can do. You just chose not to do it. But he's not ashamed of you. And this is helping us because we don't want to be ashamed of our children. Okay? Love them with the love of Christ. All right, now we can run to Joshua. Just let's do that really quick, y'all. And I'm gonna sit down because I'm almost done anyway. Okay? Joshua 24. 14, and I love Joshua. I love Joshua. Okay? My cousin Joshua. Verse 14, and we're going to end at 28. Are y'all there?
Amen.
Therefore, fear the Lord and worship him in sincerity and truth. And I don't want y'all to miss that right there. Worship the Lord, fear the Lord, and worship him in sincerity, because a lot of us are sincere about what we do and how we worship him, but somewhere along the line, we forget about the truth part. So now, and I love the fact that we were listen, I'm just telling the truth. I love the fact that we were in the pandemic. Sometimes it kind of got on my nerves, but the mask situation got on my nerves. But the pandemic allowed us to sit down, for me, I know for sure, to sit down and look at God's word, take another look at God's word. Because some stuff during the pandemic, I found out, I said it was true, but the Lord revealed to me that it wasn't true. It was just what I believed.
Yes.
It was what was passed on to me.
Yes.
And it wasn't even the truth, but it felt like the truth.
Right. Oh my. Yes.
I went on ahead and told my grandkids, I wanted to tell the mama that I was going to tell my grandkids about Santa Claus and Easter Bunny and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Because I did. So, I mean, because we passed this stuff on to fairies and stuff. We're passing this stuff on as true, and that's light. It's a whole bunch of other stuff that I could bring up. It's light, but it's still error. And we say that it's all, it's for the kids. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We even get mad, right? When the big kids tell the little kids that Santa ain't real. Did I spoil it for some kids? I don't know. He might still be real in your house. Ho, ho, ho. He might still be really, I'm sorry. But in our house, he not. Okay. Get rid of listen to this little bitty G. Get rid of the gods of your ancestors. Worship beyond Euphrates River and in Egypt. And worship the Lord. Listen to Joshua telling them, y'all. To get rid of the God. What God did our ancestors pass on to us? And listen, a lot of times we hear Jesus, and it ain't the Jesus of the Bible. I don't know how that sat on your heart. I don't know. But get rid of the gods. And listen, there's things that we don't call God. We don't say that it's God. But truly, in essence, it is God for you. He's telling the people to get rid of those gods. 15, but if it doesn't please you, listen to them. If it doesn't please you to worship the Lord, choose for yourself today the one you will worship. The gods of your fathers worship beyond the Euphrates River, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you are living. He says, well, hold on, that ain't it. As for me and my family, we will worship the Lord. Did Joshua take a stand? He said his boundary. He said, this is what we doing. My family. I'm speaking for my whole family. We serving the Lord. Okay? Listen to what the people replied. Listen to what the people said. We will certainly not abandon the Lord to worship other gods. Now hold on. We talking about these folks that was in the wilderness. When Moses went away too long, what did they do? Moses went to talk to the Lord, but he was gone too long for them. Got to have somebody up here looking at him. What happened? Moses went up. The people, what they do?
They built a calf of the blessing that God gave them. God gave them the goods, and they took it and built a devil with it.
They took the gold that God had given them and made them a god, did they not? But do you hear? Mine got an exclamation point on the end of my sentence. Do y'all? That's what mine says. They came back to him and said, we will certainly, listen, we won't, okay, worship any other gods. They know they ain't telling the truth. And don't you got people in your family like that? And I mean, especially when y'all in a, don't be in a little debate or something. I didn't say argument, I said debate. When they take it that octave higher, we right here, we talking about it, you know, and we getting a little passionate about whatever it is we talking about. And then they start watching, you know, they start talking like that. I don't know what that be. It be wrong the whole time, though. That's what's crazy. They be wrong the whole time. But they take it up here. I don't know if that makes them think they're more convincing or what. But these folk, that's what they did to Joshua. I certainly will not. I can just hear him. I will not serve no other God. Oh, please. Who? The people replied, we will certainly not abandon the Lord we worship for other gods. 17, for the Lord our God brought us to our fathers out of the land of Egypt, the place of slavery, and performed these great signs before our eyes. Can y'all hear them? He also protected us along the way we went and among all the peoples of the lands who traveled through. I could just hear them really trying to convince Joshua that they're not going to do that. Because if you keep reading after we get through with 24, if we had time, we could go into Judges and see just how much they know they were not telling the truth. Because they got with other gods over in Judges. I'm asking our family, I'm asking us right now in the room, how many of us have literally left the Lord God of the Bible? We don't say that we did with our mouth, but our actions prove that. Sometimes what we do and how we think, we are no better than an atheist that don't believe in God at all. It's because of our behavior. Things don't go your way, or you don't get what what you think really should be yours or something. You will go out just like Sarah did. You will go and make your own way. I ain't gotta talk about y'all with it. I did that. I did that. I felt like he was taking a little too long, cousin Bruce. God was taking a little bit too long to give me the promise. So I made my own way. What? Why? Why? Now I'm transparent. Now you be transparent in your heart. You ain't got to tell nobody around you. Don't even shift your eyes or nothing. Think about somebody else. Just think about you. What thing in your life you know God, you know that he promised it to you. You know he said he would do it. But you took matters into your own hands. I'm just asking. Oh, wait. This is something else. 18. The Lord drove out before us all the peoples, including the Amorites. Listen, these folk was in all kind of battles, all kind of wars, and they won them. Looking at it, they shouldn't have won it because they didn't look that strong. But because the Lord fought for them, they won. Okay? The Amorites who lived in the land, we too will worship the Lord because he is our God. That's capital G. Here is 19. But Joshua told the people, you will not, listen at him, be able to worship the Lord because he is a holy God. He is a jealous God. He will not remove your transgressions and sin. Listen at that. Why would Joshua? These folk is passionate. They done went up an octave high telling them what they wasn't going to do. Why would Joshua tell them this? You will not worship the God. You will not worship the Lord God. You're not. Because he's too holy. He's too holy. He's jealous. Sometimes I think and especially Oprah, when she heard that, when she read that, all you Oprah fans, you get a car and you get a car. Oprah said, I remember she said that, right? Everybody in her audience got cars and stuff. Anyway, Oprah said she don't want to serve a God who's jealous of her. Y'all remember that? Y'all know that? Y'all hear that octave? I went up. Oprah is wrong because Oprah thinks God jealous of her. But God is jealous for Oprah. He don't want her serving no other God. Yes. He don't want her he don't want her putting nothing before him. But she don't want to serve God, the God of the Bible, who is jealous for us, y'all. He created us to love him. And then when you take your love and put it on something else, you don't think that make him jealous for you? I've given you. I've loved you. I've provided for you. I've protected you. And that's what you do? Just wondering. I'm just wondering. 20. If you abandon the Lord and worship foreign gods, he will turn against you. Did you hear what he said to them? Harm you and completely destroy you after he has been good to you. Y'all read that? 21. No, the people answered Joshua, we will worship the Lord. 22. Joshua then told the people, you are witnesses against yourself. He said that you yourselves have chosen to worship the Lord. We are witnesses, they said. So here's 23. He said, all right, then get rid of the foreign gods. Look, he had to come back and say, y'all saying y'all not? Well, then go and get rid of the foreign gods that y'all got then. How did they tell him up here in verse 16 that they was going to serve God and God alone? But he's telling them, y'all really don't, y'all can't worship him because he's too holy. Y'all don't even want to live holy. Y'all don't even like how holiness roll off your tongue. He's holy. Therefore, you got to be holy. We don't want to be holy. We don't want to be holy. We don't like that. That feels like too many rules, too many limits, too many boundaries to be holy. God is a holy God. And us that worship him, we got to worship him in spirit and in truth. Y'all hear me? Here's 23. He said, get rid of the foreign gods that are among you and offer your hearts to the Lord, the God of Israel. So the people said to Joshua, we will worship the Lord our God and obey him. Now we just need to just close up the Bible and go on and go home right now. Because we've got into this formal way of worship where we just come and we worship, we sing our songs, we do our prayers, we say our prayers, and we even take communion, once a month now, and we do all these things. We have the programs, we do what we do. We say we're worshiping him, but we forget about obeying him. This is a big deal. Quinny said to me, now that's a tall order. That's a tall order. To worship God, to know God, to love God, to worship God, but you on a whole nother thing when you start obeying God. Whoever, somebody got that air from me. I feel it. It feels good. Thank you, whoever did that. Listen. If I do not obey God, everything I do for him, listen, I'm saying it, I'm doing it for him. Everything I'm doing, am I really doing it for him? If I can't obey him, but I can tell you to obey, I can tell you need to obey. To me, it's like, it's null, it's dull, it's void.
It's not love.
It's not love. It really means, in essence, I really don't love him like I say I do. This is where I want us to like pick up our hearts and just pick up your heart and sit it like that right there in front of God, like that. Just take your heart and sit it right there in front of him and ask him, look, Lord, here's my heart. I know I ain't been everything I should be. I know I have not done everything I should do. But Lord, help me with this disobedient spirit that I got. It's defiling me, your temple. It's defiling me. Ask him. Are you afraid to just put your heart up there for him and let him do circumcision and just cut off the pieces that does not work for you, the pieces that has destroyed you, the pieces that has controlled you, the pieces that has got you bound? Are you willing to give that to him? Are you willing? So many of us, y'all, with our mouths, we say, I love God, I trust God, I want God. But when it comes to living for him, literally living for him and obeying what he's saying, we don't do that. So it makes us have to question our love, y'all. It just makes you have to question, do you want him? Because Joshua was telling them, look, what y'all choose who y'all gonna serve, but I'm telling you what we gonna do. And if you rolling with us, come on. But if you ain't, y'all going on then. Are there some family members that you need to deal with like that?
Wow. Wow.
That one is hard. Because the way we love hard, right? We love everything that we can see hard. Or everybody that we can see, we love that hard, we love them hard. But when it comes to the Lord, you don't see him. You can't see Jesus. But we say we love him. Somebody, I'm going to finish reading this, but somebody get 1 John 4:20. I'm willing to lay my heart up on the altar. I'm willing to set it before God so that he can do what he needs to do with my heart, so that I can be true to him. This stuff needs to happen, y'all, because our families are being destroyed. The reason our churches are not full, y'all, is because the families are being destroyed. There's a great falling away. People don't love God. They don't love God like they say they do. Whoever gets that can read that in just a second. Where did I leave off at? 22? Joshua then told the people, I read that. You are witnesses against yourselves. Okay, I'm at 24. So the people said to Joshua, well, we will worship the Lord and obey him. And I can stop right there. I thought I had some more to read. Somebody please read 1 John 4:20. Please read 1 John 4:20. Read it with some conviction. Because that's heavy. This is weighty. You got it? Come on, Pam, put a little gravy and hot sauce on it or something.
If anyone says,
Mm-hmm.
I love God,
Yeah.
and hates his brother, he is a liar.
If anyone claims to love God, but hates his brother, sister, mother, cousin, uncle, neighbor, co-worker,
He is a liar. For
He-
he does not love his brother whom he has seen, cannot love God, whom he has not seen.
you can pick it up. Yep, go ahead.
And
You-
this commandment we have from him, whomever loves God must also love his brother.
This is good for our families because, and this is perfect for our families because we can be some of the most religious people, right? And we know what to do. We come to church. We do what we're supposed to do in the church and all that. I went there already. But we're practicing this coming to church. We're practicing doing church, right? I think we need to start more being God's church instead of just doing church. But if we can just be the church, well, then that means, therefore, I will treat you, my brother, my sister, right. I will love you right. It's one thing for you to tell me with your mouth that you love me. But every time I turn around, you say with your mouth you love me, but then in the next few breaths, don't let me do something you don't like. Where did the love go? This is good for our family, y'all, because we need to practice what we preach. If I'm doing it in God's house, for me to have my family rebuilt and restored, I'm going to have to do that in my house. If I am going to do it over here, I gotta do it over there. Charity begins at home and then it spreads abroad. Love begins at home. Then you can spread it out. Okay? All right? I got this last scripture. It's Matthew 12, 46 through 50. Matthew 12, 46 through 50. Y'all, and this one is a good one. Let me make sure I got all my scripture. Yeah, Matthew 12, 46 through 50. Anybody that got that? That ain't the last one. Doggone it. I wanted to talk about this Matthew 5. We'll go there too. Matthew 12, 46. Who said that? Do I want them to read it? Queen? Oh, yeah, come on, Queen.
As Jesus was speaking to the crowd, his mother and brothers stood outside, asking to speak to him. 47. Someone told Jesus, your mother and your brothers are standing outside, and they want to speak to you. Jesus asked, who is my mother? who are my brothers?
Hmm.
49. Then he pointed to his disciples and said, look, these are my mother and brothers. 50. Anyone who does the will of my Father in heaven is my brother and sister and mother.
Thank you. Did you feel some type of way when you read that, or because they were telling Jesus, hey, your mother and your brother, they need to holler at you right quick. And it's almost kind of like he kind of ignored him a little bit. And then he came back and was like, who is my mama? Who really is my brother? They were blood. Y'all hear me? It almost feel like he's like, not that he didn't care about them, but there's something deeper than your blood. He's now talking in the frame of his own blood. He ain't discrediting his blood, but he's not discrediting his natural blood line from his mom and his brother. He's not discrediting that, but he's talking about this blood that he will shed for even their sins. He's talking in a direct way that most people can't handle. When you come direct, a lot of people don't like that. But he's asking them this question. It's a very important question. He's saying, who is my brother? Who really is my mother? And then he asks this question, but then he comes back and answers it. And he said, the one that does the will of my Father, that's my family. That's my family. So I can feel that he's rebuilding his family. He's letting them know the requirements to really be connected to me. That's what Jesus is saying. And if this is what you want, then this is what's required of you. You know why we was talking about that obedience a minute ago? Doing the will of the Father and walking in obedience to him, even when it seems strange to other people, y'all. Because listen, I'm number one to tell y'all that there are some things that I know the Lord told me to do, but it didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to me. So it made me kind of like leery of doing it, but I had to go and obey him. Y'all hear me? So I need y'all, the things that he's been saying to you, it might feel funny to you. You might not even understand what he's telling you to do. But I promise you, just walk in obedience. There's a blessing when you obey God. Y'all hear me? There's a blessing when we obey God rather than man. Okay, now Matthew 5, y'all, and this is it. Matthew 5. Matthew 5. And let's go to, I forgot. 3, okay, so 3 through 12 are the Beatitudes. Are we aware of, are we in the know about the Beatitudes? This is Jesus' first sermon. He was preaching on this mount, and he was telling them about, blessed are the poor in spirit, because they will, the kingdom of heaven is theirs. Blessed are those that mourn, they will be comforted. He's talking to his family, y'all. Blessed are those that, blessed are the gentle or the meek, because they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who are hungry and thirst after righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, because they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, because they will be called sons of God. Now, here we go right here. After 10. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness, because the kingdom of heaven is theirs. Now, blessed are you when they insult you and persecute you and falsely say every kind of evil against you because of me. Now listen, because we're in the world, and I wish I could read all that, because we're in the world and we're not of this world, some of the things that we do and say is strange to our family members. Huh?
I said I'm real blessed.
You say you real blessed then?
Yeah.
I feel him. When your family, your blood family, sometimes they falsely accuse you. Sometimes they persecute you, your blood family. God says you are blessed. But 12 says, be glad and rejoice because your reward is great in heaven. He's building his family. He's going to come back for this family too.
Thank you, Holy Spirit.
If you're not in the family, trust me, you're going to be left behind. So he's giving us, this is like a test with the answers right in front of you. All you got to do is write them down. This test has got the answers to it. He's telling us. Oh, just open the book. Yes. For that is how they persecuted the prophets who were before you. Now he goes on to tell them about being believers, or as a believer, you are salt and light. He's talking about how he's fulfilling the law. He's talking about murder, where it begins in your heart. All this stuff he's telling them on this mount. He's preaching a sermon. He is telling them this for their own benefit. It's for his family. He wants them to be better. He wants them to be better. He knows who he's dealing with, just like us. He knows who he's dealing with when it comes to you. He created you. So he knows everything about you. Even the hairs on your head are numbered. He knows you like that. My question is, will you be able to hear him say, I know you. I know you. Because there are going to be some that he say, depart from me, you evil worker, you worker of iniquity. I never knew you. I just want to make sure for me and my house that we are sure that when we see him, because one day this life is going to end, y'all. One day it's going to end. I want to make sure we're good in here. Are we all good when this life ends? And now we see, and it ain't just now happening, but it's even more now that even young people are leaving here. Kids, they leaving, y'all, they leaving. We need to make sure we're ready to see him face to face, that we can live with him in eternal bliss forever and ever, and that we won't be damned to hell. Some would say, what kind of God is that? Is that a loving God that would send folk to hell? And I would like to ask the question, did he send you to hell or did you choose to go? Did he send you to hell or did you choose to go to hell? That's the question that you need to ask or answer. And the choice is yours. Make the choice. But no, the choice you make, that choice will make you. Do that make sense? That don't make sense? The choice you choose, whatever you choose, it's up to you. But when you make that choice, it's going to make you. Because if you choose him, you get to have life here and now and life everlasting. If you make it. If you make that choice. If you choose him. But if you make the choice that you don't want him, I tried him, and he ain't what I want. It don't work for me. And you choose not to choose him, just know that that choice is going to make you, you're going to live eternally in hell, burning but not up. You ain't going to burn up, but you're going to forever burn. I ain't trying to scare you, it's in the word. It's in the word. So God is rebuilding his family. Are you in it? He's restoring his family. Are you in it? Are you a part of it? Are you? I'm asking y'all. Are you in his family? And if you are, good for you. If you are not, today, you can become a part of his family. And it's simple. It is so simple. All you have to do is choose him. Put him first. Love and, look, trust him, but obey him. Obey him. We so comfortable, y'all, now, where we won't even tell our children. We know the things that they're doing. We won't even tell them. Hey, fornication is wrong. You shouldn't be living together. You need to get married. We won't tell them that because we don't want to ruffle no feathers. But would you rather tell them that and let them be a little uneasy with you or whatever than have them go to hell? Because he talks about that. You don't get to inherit the kingdom of God living like that. You don't. You want to be caught like that? I mean, I'm just saying. We're taking stuff. We're allowing our kids. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, my daughter, she don't like men. And well, I can't judge her because she don't like men. She want to be with a woman. But we won't tell them that that's wrong because we don't want to ruffle those feathers. Trust God. Choose God and his way and obediently follow him. That's what he's wanting. That's all he wants. He wants us to love him with all our heart, all our soul, and all our might. That's all he wants from us. All right? God is rebuilding his family. Are you in it? I'm done. I want to pray. I know how we normally do it. And if we can, do we need to stay on here? Let me do this with them right quick. If you're there today and you know you need Jesus, you know you've not lived right before him, you know that life has been hard for you because of your disobedience. God is such a loving God. He really wants you. He wants you to choose him. And what I love about him most is that he's a forgiving God. He forgives. All you got to do is ask. All you got to do is ask. And having salvation is so simple. If you just believe in your heart, make this confession with your mouth. I'm a sinner. I mean, I'm messed up. Make that confession. And then believe in your heart that Jesus was born of a virgin, and then that he died and rose again, then you shall be saved. It's that simple. It is that easy. Then you need to be discipled. And listen, while being discipled, they're going to be, look, we'll tell you, or whoever you go to be discipled by, will tell you and correct you. Don't be bucking and carrying on. Well, you might buck. It's okay. But don't buck yourself loose from the family, okay? You're doing something that you're not comfortable with. But just choose Christ today. If that's you, get in the chat. Somebody will reach back out to you, I promise. Our church is located in Wichita, Kansas. Our address is 750 North Clara. You can become a member. You can be an online member. I mean, we're doing stuff new, ain't we? Online members, boy, I tell you. It's a new day. But you can be a part of a family. And if this is not the choice, your choice of church, well then that's fine too. But get you somewhere where you can learn about Christ in a healthy way. You can learn about the God of this Bible, okay? Not no God that's been imagined in somebody else's mind. The God of the Bible. That's what you want. Get in the chat and let us know. We will pray with you, and we will accept you into our family and to the house. Can somebody get the recording? In the house, the same thing I said to them, I say to you. Today is a good day. Today is a good day to receive Christ. Yes.